Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit. I am your host Varsha Chandanani. Biocon reported its Q4 FY24 results, wherein if you see, our revenue was up around 4%, while EBITDA margin was 23% versus 26% last year, but it did beat estimates of 21%, while net profit was down 46%. To talk more about the overall numbers and what's happening around biosimilar, we have with us Mr. Shreehas Tambe, who is CEO and MD of Biocon Biologics. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So, according to you, how was the quarter? What stood out and what were the disappointments?
Thank you very much for that question. I think it's important to look at this quarter. It's a very special quarter because this is the first full quarter since we completed the acquisition and Biocon Biologics was running the business. If you go back at the beginning of the year, we had said that we will be a billion-dollar company by the time we end March 2024, and we're very pleased that we were able to meet that commitment. And at the end of 2024 March, we have crossed the billion-dollar mark. So that's the first piece of good news that we've got. The second is the year-on-year growth has been remarkable. We've grown 58% over last year. And the third piece, which is specific to the quarter, is that it's also been a very, very powerful quarter where it set us up very nicely for the year ahead, where you're seeing sequential growth of about 12%. And importantly, very healthy EBITDA margins, which are in the mid-20s. So I would say all the financial metric, the indicators that are there are all signaling in the right direction. We've got our threshold of $1 billion that we had committed to. We have taken control of our business. The growth has come on the back of strong market shares that we've been able to grow in all geographies, not just the United States, but also in Europe and also in key emerging markets. So we feel very strong about the quarters coming ahead. And the foundational piece which we have set in place has really played out very well for us, Varsha.
Now speaking about your biosimilar business, we did see its sales sustain its momentum at 9% quarter on quarter. Now its EBITDA margin too reverted almost 24% due to lower R&D cost. Now what is the growth that you are expecting and where you are seeing this going forward?
Yeah, and I think we need to put some of these things in a right context because as business grows, you will see certain percentages move up and down. One of the key things to remember that R&D, when you are doing development, is still sizable. On a full year basis, if you look at what Biocon Biologics has invested, it's in that 10% range, which we had guided for at the beginning of the year. So we've stayed to that range, point number one. Then subsequent to that, if you see between quarters, as product goes through a development phase, you will see expenses which will come in a particular quarter and will be lower in the other. But we believe in general, as revenues start growing further, you will see the R&D as a percentage being in the range that we are in at this point, which is in that 8 to 10% range or about 8 or 9% that you're seeing today.
Also, I wanted to know your take on the pressure on US biotech funding that we are seeing, due to which we saw pressure in our research business as well. Are things improving there?
Well, certainly, I think if you look at, if I would respond to this in two different ways. One is if you continue to see this as from a funding standpoint or the Fed rates that you would see, we see that some of those things are cooling off and we are expecting things to become more normalized over a period of time. And as things stabilize and get to a better place, we'll obviously see more liquidity in the market. So clearly, we believe that it's pointing in the right direction. In terms of interest in Biocon Biologics from a funding standpoint, that's always been strong. And it's about making sure that we have the right set of investors, the right alignment on what we want to do. And that's how we've approached it. We've taken a very measured approach in how we want to do this. And you will see us moving forward as well to see how we want to bring in more equity within Biocon Biologics.
So can you expect a single digit or double digit growth in FY25 out there?
Yeah, I think one of the key things that you have to look at is all our product market shares have grown and they continue to grow in a very strong manner. So we believe with existing products in a very strong mode and new products to be launched, which is very imminent once FDA comes and approves our new products. I think growth is expected to come. Now, whether it will be a single digit or double digit, I wouldn't want to specifically comment on numbers, but I think it's fair to say that we have a very strong growth coming up in the quarters to come.
Well, now speaking about your White-Trace merger, how are the synergies playing out there, and how are you seeing this going forward, considering the growth prospects that we have?
So the Viatris acquisition that we completed in in November of or December of last year, calendar year, I think has been a very important phase for us. It has transformed Biocon Biologics from a two-country science and ops company to a 120 country presence that we have today as a fully integrated global player. So it's been very transformative in nature. So it's not just an acquisition; it has changed the way we've done business. We believe being integrated is the way to succeed, and that is what has happened. Now, how has it played out for us? I think it's played out very well. We've got the people onboarded. People are very excited about driving business in a company that's very focused on biosimilars, and making sure we launch these products. But the proof in how this integration is playing out is in how the business has ensured continuity. That was really the focus, and it's reflected in the market share numbers. So if market shares are grown, it means customers believe in the new model, and the employees are confident about the new integrated organization. And I think on both counts, you will see that these things have played out very well. So we feel good about this one.
Right, those are some of the cues coming in from the management of Biocon Biologics about what we can expect going forward. But on that note, it's time to slip into a short break. And on the other side, we get you the management of Sangvi Movers. Stay tuned in.